time to bring this show home this morning and open up the old work from home debate. This should be interesting. Now, with news around the recent Fair Work Commission ruling denying an Australian man his full-time work from home request, it raises the question of whether we'll be seeing more bosses actually mandate increased time in the office next year. So, mandate or motivate, what is the way to go? I thought we'd get the opinion of the founder of Futurespace this morning. Her name is Angela Ferguson. Angela, lovely to have you on the show.
Hi, Brett. Good to be here.
Hey, tell us a bit about Futurespace. Who are you guys? What sort of work do you do?
Yeah, so Futurespace, we are an interior architecture and design business, and we do two main things. We help businesses strategise what their future workplace will look like, and then once that strategy has been delivered, we then help them actually create the environment to support some of their business goals.
Boy, your work must have really taken off post-COVID because we've never really had this debate before, Angela. Do you find it quite new?
I think it's new that it's top of mind for people. Like, we've been around for 22 years and we've always been about this sort of thing, like creating workspaces that are aligned with a culture and a business's way of operating. So for us, it's a bit of, an I told you so moment. It's like, yes, we've been banging on about this for years and finally everyone's thinking about it.
Okay, I get it. Hey, the Fair Work Commission decision that I mentioned at the top, denying that guy his request to work from home full time, were you surprised at that or did you see that coming?
Look, I was pleasantly surprised by that actually because, if you read into that case, I think the business actually did quite a lot to support his needs. And I think what the Fair Work Commission was recognising is that, there are some instances where face-to-face, needs to happen in the office, and that 100% remote working, unless it's a really extreme situation, is, not best for the organisation and it's not best for the individual either.
What about the old productivity debate, Angela? My wife comfortably works from home most of the time, really productive. I've got a couple of colleagues here at the radio station that say, no, don't send me home. I get too distracted. What do you hear and what camp do you sit in?
Yeah, look, I think it's interesting because individuals have needs and then teams have needs as well. So it's really about a balance, whether working from home is going to be best or working from the office is going to be best. And I think what we're finding now is, when COVID happened and everybody got sent home, productivity was high because everyone was pretty much 100% working from home. So it was all a level playing field. And what's really happening now is that, some people are at home, some people are in the office, some are in more than others, and it's this really kind of nuanced situation that there's no one singular experience of what work looks like now. So that's a big challenge for business, right, is to go, well, we've got a couple of hundred people or we've even got, 20 people. How do we kind of create this experience of work for people where it's going to be a great, productive, engaging, collaborative, dynamic experience for everybody, not just, one or two people.
So how do you go about that, Angela? I mean, do you just put a bowl of free bananas in the corner? What do you do?
No, but that is something that does attract people back to the office is, things like food. Food's always been a great one to get people in.
Yeah.
But it needs to be genuine and it needs to be authentic. And I think, what we challenge leaders on is, why is it that you want people back in the office? Is it because of this command and control type of approach? Or is it because, there's a recognition that collaboration and that social connection is really important? So some of the things that attract people back to the office, actually we've done, probably over the last 3, nearly 4 years, we've done engagement with more than 12,000 Australian workers. And one of the questions we ask them is, what is the main reason you come into the office? And it's pretty equal 50-50 between socialising with their colleagues and collaborating face-to-face. So if they're the reasons why people are coming in, then we ask leadership to look at, okay, so does the workplace support that? Do you have enough collaborative spaces? Do you have the right social spaces? Is there good access to natural light? Have you got enough plants for people? Is there enough diversity of spaces where, introverts can work and extroverts can also work? So it's really about understanding who your people and culture are and then how do you give them what they need to be able to do their jobs well.
Angela, it was quite a few months ago now that the big banks probably started this, and they went the big stick approach to getting their staff back to work, all sorts of threats, and the union got involved and all that sort of stuff. Motivate versus mandate. Does motivate win out every day of the week?
Yeah, look, I think in a lot of cases, it does, like, Australians do not like to be told what to do. It's in our DNA. We know that, from the world wars, that, the diggers did not have any regard for authority. And I think that's just the way we are. So, we don't want to be dictated to. We actually really want to be treated like grown-ups, and some of the things that actually motivate people to come into the office are that sense of autonomy, things like education and training, things like, giving people the opportunity to, develop their careers in the way they want to. And rather than saying, this is what you have to do, you've got to kind of play a bit of reverse psychology there, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I love the way you've linked it to the diggers there. You're quite correct. I'm speaking to Angela Ferguson, the founder of Futurespace today, about getting back to work. But Angela, also wanted to talk to you about 2024 and beyond in the workplace. You've got your crystal ball out this morning. What are you seeing happening next year?
Yeah, look, I think that it's just going to continue to evolve. So, no longer is the office this really static environment, but it is something that is very flexible, very user-friendly, very able to be manipulated and moved around and reconfigured by its occupants. We've got more and more Gen Z in the office now, and their sort of characteristics are around being, very self-reliant, very collaborative. So they want a workspace that's going to allow them to try and, leverage some of those ways of working. I think the other thing that's interesting as well is that we'll probably start to settle into a few more regular patterns now, because it's almost 4 years since the pandemic started. So people are starting to get into this rhythm of, okay, here's how I work best. Here's how I can navigate with my team to work best. And so I think there'll be a bit more, not necessarily certainty, but a bit more evolution and sort of settling into a really nice rhythm of that balance of hybrid, work from home, work from office.
Yeah, it's a fascinating space. It probably wasn't that interesting to most of us. I know you're different, Angela, a little while ago, but it really is an interesting debate, mandating or motivating. Yeah, I think motivating wings out. Angela, if we want some resources, if we've got people listening in workplaces this morning, where can they go for some tips from you?
Yeah, if you take a look at our website, it's futurespace.com.au. We've got lots of blogs on there, actually, that talk about all the different issues and how they're relevant to businesses and some of the things they can do. And we've also got lots of case studies demonstrating, what some others have done in the last few years. So Reece in Cremorne in Melbourne is one great example. IAG across Australia is another example. And even realestate.com.au are on there as well. So there's some good case studies for people to read.
Yeah, worth a look through the Futurespace website. Angela Ferguson, pleasure having you on Ballarat Today. Thanks for your time.